Good evening and good morning, everybody. We acknowledge those who are in Australia, for whom it's just the start of the day. I'm Mary Hunt, part of the water team here, and tonight we are engaging in our monthly meditation, and it is entitled Praying with the Pros, thanks to Benedictine Mary Lou Kownacki. And this is Monday, July the 10th at 7:30 p.m. on the east coast of the US, and we're delighted to have each and every one of you here. I'm here with my colleague Diane New, who's um, on the deck, and Patrice Rupp, Patrice, and Brooke Andrews. Patrice is from Germany. She's with us for a year, and Brooke is from University of Maryland, and she's with us for the summer. So I want to welcome all of you to the seventh meditation of 2023, which I will lead, and normally I don't. We have a shared leadership policy in our meditation, but I will lead this one, um, and we will use Mary Lou's prayer for the decade of nonviolence as our starting point. Again, a warm welcome to each of you, and a special welcome to those who have joined us via the good offices of the Erie Benedictine community. Jacqueline Sanchez Small, a sister of that community, is a former water intern before she joined the Erie crowd, and she was so kind as to publicize this evening's program in the weekly outreach from the Erie Benedictines. So thanks to Jackie, wherever she is this evening. She's always a part of us. We're so glad that people responded and have joined. A warm water welcome to each and every one of you. And we wish those of you who are part of the Benedictine community in its widest forms a wonderful day tomorrow, when I know you're going to be celebrating in a special way your Benedictine life together. I know you have a Zoom meeting scheduled for tomorrow, and that just sounds very, very lovely. So let me get back to our program. Last month, water intern Patricia Rupp, whom I have already introduced from Baden-Württemberg in Germany, offered us a wonderful reflection on a bold journey to self-love. A bold journey to self-love. And you can access that meditation at www.waterwomensalliance.org. Just look under programs and then at water meditations, and you will find the video and Patrice's words, which stirred us to so many ways of embracing self-love for ourselves and encouraging it in women. Let me invite you to mute your phones now so that we have a good clear line for this, and we'll bring you back. We'll ask you to unmute later on in the hour, and it will be just an hour. We finish at 8:30 Eastern time, come hell or high water, because we think that an hour is what we've covenanted for, and we'd like to stick with our covenants. So let us begin, as we always do at Water, with the land acknowledgement. This is something that we've come to incorporate into our programs to remind ourselves of why we do what we do and what we need to do more of, given the systemic injustice that Indigenous and other people of color face in this country, and perhaps in your country as well. Water is on Indigenous land in Silver Spring, Maryland. This is the traditional and contemporary land of the Piscataway and Anacostan peoples. We acknowledge the trauma and injustice toward Indigenous people that is deep in U.S. culture and history. We at Water join in efforts to eradicate it and to make reparations for the genocide involved. Water's work is aimed at bringing about social justice. I ask you to take just a moment of quiet to consider the Native people on whose land you sit. Thank you. Let me review our simple format so that all will know what to expect. We don't all know each other, and so it's not a closed group of people who do this all the time. Many of us who do it all the time are here, but so many others have joined us that we're just delighted. Here's how we do it. A presenter, I'm the presenter tonight, offers something brief, usually 7 or 8 minutes, to spark our contemplation. And then we spend 22 minutes in silence together. And if you listen for the gong will start and end that time. It sounds like this. We will have those 22 minutes in silence. You'll be able to Get rid of your video if you want so that you can just be in your own home alone. And then we will, at the time of the 22 minutes closing, we will open the floor for any comments or fruits of your reflection that you might want to share. There is no particular way, no cookie cutter approach to meditation that we offer. The important thing is that you find your way to silence, whether it's through attention to your breathing, repeating a mantra, whatever works for you to invite your contemplation. We hope you will attempt that tonight. And we will finish by 8:30, and then we'll leave the Zoom open for a little bit after that so that people can chat with each other if they wish. But for now, again, please mute your microphone until it's time to share, and I'll instruct you how to do that at the time of the discussion. Let us turn then to the springboard for meditation this evening. I typically chair these meetings, and other people give the input, but it happens on the rotation to be my turn. So I will not introduce myself except to say that I'm the co-founder and co-director with Diane New of WATER, the Women's Alliance for Theology, Ethics, and Ritual in Silver Spring, Maryland. We're hosting the event. Let's turn to our theme tonight. Praying with the Pros. Thanks to Benedictine Mary Lou Kownacki. Many of you knew Mary Lou, and if you did, I hope you will rejoice in the strong presence of her spirit tonight. She died about 6 months ago, but her spirit is strong with us tonight. I was not so fortunate as to know her personally, but I, like so many people, was deeply attracted to her writing, to her work, to the life she crafted for herself and with people that I respect deeply. The list of her contributions to the world is seemingly endless. Getting the Pox Center going in Erie, teaching in many forms, starting the Emmaus Soup Kitchen, publishing books on peace, acting as national coordinator of Pax Christi USA, then directing the Alliance for International Monasticism. Mary Lou took Benedictine publishing up a notch in 1992 with Bennett Vision, which is a classic monastic cottage industry publishing enterprise. They published Joan Chittister and many other wonderful folks. And then she started the online Monasteries of the Heart in 2012, which has fed many of us in our hunger to partake of the best of the monastic tradition. What a smart postmodern thing to do. I must say I'm breathless thinking of all of this. And then there were the children whom she loved so much, and to whom she imparted her gift of poetry. And then there were the people made poor, whom she embraced as her own. Not to mention her service to her own monastery, where she did everything from development to formation and probably dishes. What a wonderful woman she was, and from all reports, quite understated about it. In my mind, she was about 50 years old when she died. How wrong I was about an octogenarian. Though I bet her energies were multiple. Her illness and dying were hard to watch, even from afar by people who didn't know her. But I figure anybody who could play a round of golf and enjoy the beauty of that sacred land on the shores of Lake Erie was someone who lived to the hilt, even against the ravages of cancer. Because I did not know Mary Lou personally, I asked my friend Benedictine Sister Jackie Sanchez Small to describe her. Here's what she wrote to me. Well, Jackie said, Mary Lou always defined herself as a monk, which she considered a gender-inclusive term. She was a visionary who understood peace as a constitutive element of the gospel and was firmly committed to working toward it, though she was also a realist through and through. She loved to quote the story of the Buddha when he was asked by a disciple, "Is it true that half of the spiritual life is friendship?" The Buddha replied, "No, Friendship is the whole of spiritual life. Jackie Sanchez Small concluded her email to me saying, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Mary Lou considered her greatest gift to be natural athleticism. Well, that description that Jackie shared squared very well with my sense of Mary Lou from her writings. This led me to conclude that what we saw and what we see in print was who she was. And that's not always the case, even for great spiritual figures, I'm here to tell you. What you see is not always what you get. Another friend of mine observed that she didn't know Mary Lou either. But when she died, my friend felt as if she had lost a friend. She waited, as many of us did, week after week, for what the old monk, as Mary Lou called herself, would say next. Luckily, there are many of Mary Lou's writings to go back to and savor. I took the old monk seriously because she lived out whatever she wrote, or better perhaps, she wrote whatever she lived. The authenticity was unmistakable, the goodness transparent. This is why I invite us to pray with the prose tonight. Though I suspect she would have made a good golf joke out of that expression, probably considering herself an amateur. Fat chance. With Mary Lou's spirit fully active in resurrected form now, 6 months after her death, we grab onto her energies for our prayer tonight, hoping even a kernel of her goodness might rub off. For our meditation, I chose one of her many powerful offerings. It's called Prayer for the Decade of Nonviolence, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of this in the notes that follow. This prayer was published in 1998 in a book called Prayers for a New Millennium. Regardless of the decade for which it was written, we need it more than ever now. That the U.S. is providing Ukraine with cluster bombs is only the latest wind that chills my soul. I have asked my colleagues Patrice Rupp and Brooke Andrews to read the prayer, one time each, beginning with Patrice, so that we can hear it from the voices of a generation into whose hands Mary Lou has committed her work. Let's listen to it twice. Then I'll sound the gong for our 22 minutes of silence together. When we finish, we will reconvene for your reflections. Thank you. Patrice, you're first.
Thank you. Prayer for the Decade of Nonviolence. I bow to the sacred in all creation. May my spirit fill the world with beauty and wonder. May my mind seek truth with humility and openness. May my heart forgive without limit. May my love for friend, enemy, and outcast be without measure. May my needs be few and my living simple. May my actions bear witness to the suffering of others. May my hands never harm a living being. May my steps stay on the journey of justice. May my tongue speak for those who are poor without fear of the powerful. May my prayers rise with the patient discontent until no child is hungry. May my life's work be a passion for peace and nonviolence. May my soul rejoice in the present moment. May my imagination overcome death and despair with new possibility. And may I risk reputation, comfort, and security to bring this hope to the children.
Thank you. Brooke, would you read it again for us, please?
Prayer for the Decade of Nonviolence. I bow to the sacred in all creation. May my spirit fill the world with beauty and wonder. May my mind seek truth with humility and openness. May my heart forgive without limit. May my love for friend, enemy, and outcast be without measure. May my needs be few and my living simple. May my actions bear witness to the suffering of others. May my hands never harm a living being. May my steps stay on the journey of justice. May my tongue speak for those who are poor without fear of the powerful. May my prayers rise with patient discontent until no child is hungry. May my life's work be a passion for peace and nonviolence. May my soul rejoice in the present moment. May my imagination overcome death and despair with new possibility. And may I risk reputation, comfort, and security to bring this hope to the children.
Thank you both very much, and thank you to Mary Lou. And now we begin our 22 minutes of collective contemplation. Good evening and good morning again. Thank you for participating in this communal contemplation. And thanks to Patrice for the graphics. That picture of those three smiling women were, of course, Mary Lou on the left, Jackie Sanchez-Small in the middle, and Mary Miller, who's a member of the community, apparently on the right-hand side. But I just thought that they're such a good ad for their own spirituality, just their beautiful demeanors in the picture. And now we open the floor for any reflective comments that may have emerged from your contemplative silence.